Ahoy, the internet! I've already done Atlantis, but now it's time for us to head to another sci fi Disney adventure, that being 2002's Treasure Planet. Well, it did seem promising, as it was a passion project by directors John Musker and Ron Clements, the same duo who also made some of Disney's most iconic films like The Great Mouse Detective, The Little Mermaid, and Aladdin. And it was going to be a sci fi retelling of the classic tale Treasure Island, but like with Atlantis, not only did it flop, but also bombed so bad that's one of the main reasons why Disney doesn't do hand drawn movies anymore. There was one time when they did try to in 2009 with Princess and the Frog, but that was short lived. So let's head to the planet of treasure and see if its treasure is worth it or not. In this sci fi retelling of Treasure Island, it focuses on a teenager named Jim Hawkins who is constantly in trouble ever since his father left him and his mother. Suddenly, a stranger named Billy Bones gives a mysterious sphere that's actually a map that even includes the legendary Treasure Planet. So, alongside family friend Dr. Doppler, they go on an expedition to find this treasure. Along the way, Jim meets John Silver, who is actually a pirate himself wanting the treasure, begins to have feelings for Jim, and even Jim sees him as a father figure. Now, this film has gotten a lot of mixed results lately. Some see it as one of Disney's most underrated gems, while others see it as one of their weakest films. Personally, I think this is one of Disney's most underrated films ever. A film with plenty of action, humor, but also heart as well. One of the complaints this movie gets is how the mix of sci-fi and 1700s aesthetics makes no sense, as it would have made more sense if they just went all the way with the sci-fi route. Personally, I don't mind this. I mean, would it really make the film more interesting if it was like every other sci-fi film with spaceships and high-tech stuff? If they went all sci-fi, it would have just been your generic, boring sci-fi story we've seen all the time. But giving it a mix of 1700s aesthetic helps the film to give its own identity. Like instead of a spaceship, it's a literal spaceship. And the treasure map is more of a treasure holographic sphere. You see, it's interesting not because it's sci-fi, but how they use the sci-fi in a unique way. The adventure our characters go on is quite thrilling, with plenty of high-stakes action, as well as some genuine heart, but it also includes humor as well. In Atlantis, I thought that the humor, while charming, didn't always match the action-packed tone of the movie very well. But in here, I think it worked a bit better since this is a story with pirates, adventure sequence, funny and sometimes silly people. But how the characters? First, we have Jim Hawkins, a young man who can be adventurous and fun-loving, but also rebellious and reckless. This is mainly because his father left him at such a young age, so it makes sense why he's rebellious. But you can also tell that he wants to make his mother proud. Doppler is a decent enough comic relief. He has his funny moments, and David Hyde Pierce does a good performance. Plus, he does have some development in this movie. But the best character is the somewhat villainous villain of the movie, John Silver. Despite being a money-hungry pirate who will stop at nothing, you can also tell that he has a heart deep down, as his bond with Jim is one of the highlights of the film. As Jim sees the cyborg as a father figure, there's also Scroop, who despite not being as fleshed out as John, is still excellent in his own right, as he's both legitimately scary and the kind you just love to hate because of how blood-hungry he can be. The visuals for this film are awesome as well. The 1700s sci-fi look of this film gives it a steampunk charm. The characters have a unique look from one another, and the animation is top-notch. Not just on the human and humanism characters, but also on the non-human characters, from the creative ways on John Silver's arm, the morphin styles of Morph, and especially the aliens and their unique functions. And the film manages to blend CGI and 2D very well, especially with scenes like with the spaceport transition, which are some of my favorite scenes in an animated movie. While there are some CGI that does look dated, those moments are few and far between. I also can't forget the music by James Newton Howard. The music in this is absolutely amazing, with some of them being some of my favorite tracks in movies. If I guess I had to complain outside some days CGI, it would have to be with the character of Ben, as he can get really annoying as heck. Sure, he does have his reasons, but I wish the film could tone down his loudness. But I still had a good time with this film. It's action-packed, creative, and will touch at heartstrings. This treasure gets a 9 out of 10. Come say away to this gem of a movie.